Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and thank each and every one of you very much for making some time out of your day to watch the video. It's definitely always much appreciated. Today we're going to be talking about the chatterbait and if it's losing its effectiveness as a bass catching lure. I've been wanting to do this video for a little bit of time now because I've seen some trends in that direction, so I think it's going to make for a good discussion. So real quick before we get started here, guys, just a couple of the dreaded housekeeping tips. I know a lot of you guys out there are tired of hearing it, but that's the reason that I'm doing the YouTube videos. So much appreciated you guys bearing with them on there. Just wanted to invite everybody, if you hadn't had a chance, if you're interested in becoming a member of the channel, that's a really good way to support the channel. And as memberships, you get extra videos every week that aren't seen by the public, access to my personal email address for your fishing questions. And if you're interested, on my YouTube homepage at the bottom right, you'll see a little play button down there, and just hit that. It says Intuitive Memberships, and it gives you the info for that. And also, if you're interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler, and I'll give you the details on that. So much appreciated. Okay, guys, let's talk about it. Chatterbait, we're going to have a discussion why and if it's losing its effectiveness. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, yes, it is losing its effectiveness. Some of you guys are going to, and I know inevitably I'm going to have some comments, guys saying, Randy, you're full of it. I still rip them on chatterbaits. It doesn't matter what I say about lures losing their effectiveness. I'll always get that. But the point of the matter is I'm not sure where you guys are fishing at. But yes, if you fish a chatterbait on public waters that are known to have been good chatterbait areas in the past, the lure is losing its effectiveness. And one of the reasons this happens is simply because so many people fish it. I mean, you guys have seen it right and left, that there's so many chatterbait, videos on YouTube. It's sort of like the fluke. I mean, it's like the fluke and the chatterbait get the most attention. And as a result, most of the people fish it. So let me give you a little bit of history here, what I'm talking about, how I can sort of justify this, what I'm saying here. The chatterbait started out, it's been around for a while now. It's been probably, 15 years ago or so that Brian Thrift won an FLW tournament down at Lake Okeechobee on it. That brought it into the forefront. For many, many years after that, or years after that, it was considered strictly a grass lure. Not many people fished it anywhere except like they thought it was a Florida lure. And it is highly effective in grass. But what's happened the last 4, 5, 6 years, a lot of people have started throwing a chatterbait just on the same places you'd fish a spinnerbait or crankbait, and they were catching a lot of fish. But the problem you see with that is that it's gotten so much press and so much notoriety that they simply don't work as good. And I'll give you guys a prime example. About probably, I'm going to guess 5 years ago, people started using chatterbaits a lot during the pre-spawn down at Grand Lake and ripping big fish on it. I remember when we first got on that deal down there, we were throwing the chatterbait just on the same type of stuff you'd throw a crankbait or spinnerbait, and there was a lot of big bags caught on it. Excuse me, there's a lot of tournaments even won on it. But every single year, it got less and less effective. I remember when it first started coming out down there were guys catching 20, 25-pound bags on it and not talking about it. And then once it got out, those bags started going down to 15 or 16 pounds. And then they started going down to 12 or 13 pounds. And now if you go down there and throw a chatterbait in the same areas, in the same time of year and same conditions, you're not going to catch half the fish that you did 5 years ago on it. And it's like that everywhere. When you have a lure like a chatterbait that has a distinct vibration to it, fish will get tuned into that a little bit, and they will still catch them, because even baits like a buzzbait or a lipless crankbait or rattle trap, something like that, there are times when that bait's still effective, but the fish have to be in the right mood and the right personality to bite it. Now, 10 years ago down at Grand Lake or wherever you guys fish, you could throw a chatterbait, the fish weren't educated to it, and catch a ton of fish, but it gets tougher all the time. Now, here's some things you can do to sort of, give you guys an advantage on it, because it still is an effective lure. It's not as good as what it used to be, but there's some things you can do to help. First of all, experiment with your trailers on it. There's a ton of different type of chatterbait trailers. I mean, the Zoom Speed Crawl is the one that I like here, but experiment with different profiles, straight tails, curly tails, you know, short ones, long ones. Experiment with colors. That's a big thing. Next thing, experiment with your skirt colors. You can tie your own skirts, or you can find some oddball colors, and then experiment with the blade colors on there too, because the blade colors are snap there. But anyway, the blade colors, they're really, really easy to change, because what I like to do is I'll take a fingernail polish, and you can color them any color you want to with fingernail polish. Orange, red, white, blue, whatever. Really good tip on there to that. So first thing I would suggest doing, guys, is don't use any color out of the box. Like all you guys that buy jackhammers and spend $16 on a jackhammer or whatever, they've got some core colors, and stay away from those core colors, because that's what everybody's using. Everyone that buys a chatterbait or a jackhammer off the shelf that has a stock skirt on it, that's what the fish see all the time. So I'd highly suggest getting a skirt tying kit and coming up with some of your own colors. That's probably going to be the best thing. The next thing you can do is really experiment with your retrieves. There's a lot of different retrieves that work with the chatterbait. You got stop and go, you got burning it, you got slow rolling it, you got pumping it, you got ripping it. So try some different retrieve, cadences on it. That's going to help you out a lot. But overall, guys, just don't get hung up on it. If the bass simply do not bite it as well as they used to, there are conditions when you're still going to catch a lot of fish on it, like anything else. But overall, the fish have just gotten conditioned to it, and they're simply not as good as what they used to be. And that's the byproduct of fishing pressure, and that's the byproduct of YouTube, because YouTube educates people to new techniques instantly, and it goes viral, it goes globally. I mean, like I said, I've got 30 different foreign countries that watch this channel. So anytime you say something on YouTube, there's a ton of people that see it, and they get out on the water and try it. And, you know, that's why some things go down the tubes. That's why the Whopper Plopper's not as good as it used to be. That's why the A-Rig's not as good as what it used to be. That's why the Chatterbait's not as good as it used to be. So anyway, just a few thoughts there, guys. Hope it helps you out. And like I said, it's a fun bait to fish. It still works. It's just not as good as what it used to be. So we'll talk later. See you.